General readings work too if you're not sure what you're wanting to know. I like the diamond spread. That's the my go-to. It's a 5-card spread, offers a focus point, like lets the cards pull in something to focus on. And then the second and third card are the internal and external focus. The fourth card is what's needed to overcome the focus. And then the fifth card, a general's good. All right, yes, let's do it. The fifth card is the higher understanding or resolution. So yeah, let's do that and see what the cards have to say for you. I'm going with my soul deck tonight. I have a lot of other decks. You know, when I started streaming, I invested in a bunch of decks, you know, to have different offerings. But tonight, after coming out of a period of struggle, I want to go back to my soul and start from there. So that's why I'm using this Osho Zen Tarot deck. I feel like I've been in a static point of the year, not necessarily bad, just not much happening. Okay. You know, and that's not always a bad thing. Periods of rest are good to go through. Think of like winter. Winter is like a resting period where not a lot goes on, but it's preparing for the spring blossoming that's coming ahead. So rest and active energy are good to balance because ultimately you need to rest to recover. Also, I think I got the reading for you about my job. I wound up quitting and I start my new job tomorrow. Wow. Okay. Well, I hope that's all a good thing. If that you found this, you know, the um, alignment to let go of something that wasn't working for you and found something positive to step into. I love that. I hope your first day tomorrow is awesome and exciting. Lots of energies that could be playing into the reading. I'm excited to see what it'll have to say. And welcome, let me touch. Hello, welcome to the chat. Yeah, it's great. I wasn't happy at my old place, so good. Let's hope that this new place will be a welcoming environment for you, more positive, easier, less stressful, you know, just a better fit for you. Let's see. So fighting. Okay. I'll read these cards. I love Osho Zen Tarot's text in the guidebook. Internal motivation or internal, yeah, inspiration, internal influences consciousness. I was stumbling on my word. I feel you, Cloud. I'm looking for a new job, but I don't know what to look for. I wish you luck at your new job. Yeah, that's really nice of you. Let me touch. If you'd like, oh yeah, you're joining. Awesome. I'll be able to get you a reading. I think it's exclamation Alma space join to get you in the queue. So let's see. The third is, wow, this card keeps appearing. This is the third reading in a row. This Beyond Illusion has jumped. Awareness for what's needed, and adventure for the higher understanding. Let me, if you are able to look for something that aligns with who you are, can help. Yeah, that's true. When you align with who you are and let that lead you forward, it's a powerful step to make, definitely, Prince of Darkness. Because ultimately, who you are is your truth. And if you're not letting your truth lead you, it's just a path of distraction, ultimately. That's what I found. So let's see, fighting. Knight of Clouds, which is the mastery of the mind, 68. The figure in this card is completely covered in armor. Only his glare of rage is visible, and the whites of his knuckles on his clenched fists. If you look closely at the armor, you can see it's covered with buttons, ready to detonate if anybody so much as brushes up against them. In the background, we see the shadowy movie that plays in the man's mind, two figures fighting for a castle. An explosive temper or a smoldering rage often masks a feeling of deep pain. We think that if we frighten people away, we can avoid being hurt even more. In fact, just the opposite is the case. By covering our wounds with armor, we are preventing them from being healed. By lashing out at others, we keep ourselves from getting the love and nourishment we need. If this description seems to fit you, it's time to stop fighting. There is so much love available to you if you just let it in. By forgiving yourself. You're worth it. Um, how do you align yourself up more? Oh, that's a good question. Yeah, Prince of Darkness. Maybe for me, aligning is learning myself, witnessing myself, seeing how I react in a given moment and understanding why I'm reacting that way. And once I understand why I'm acting a certain way or participating in life a certain way, then it becomes more of a choice for how I'm going to participate going forward. And that to me is finding alignment with the self. Because first you have to learn the self before you can align with the self. Learning, growing, living, that's all part of it. And then it comes a point where you can look back on all of that and see how you can choose to be more yourself. I think that's alignment, is just being yourself and cutting the illusions that distract you from that. So fighting, Leah, I, as you're in this transition phase, you're leaving an old work environment that didn't fit for you and you're coming into a new one. I feel that it might perhaps create an energy of tension or stress, like almost being triggered by the newness of the experience you're falling into. So I think the focus here is asking you to see what's the word? Jaded. What ways your old work might have jaded you towards a work environments, and not let that, get in the way of this new position, right? Let the new experience shape itself for you rather than come in feeling the weight of what you let go of. So consciousness, that is your internal motivation. That is another suit of clouds. This one is the Ace of Clouds. So another suit that's the mastery of the mind. Most of the cards in this suit of the mind are either cartoon-like or troubled, because the influence of the mind in our lives is generally either ridiculous or oppressive. But this card of consciousness shows a vast Buddha figure. He is so expansive he has gone even behind the stars, and above his head into is pure emptiness. He represents the consciousness that is available to all who become a master of the mind and can use it as the servant it is meant to be. When you choose this card, it means that there is a crystal clarity available right now, detached, rooted in the deep stillness that lies at the core of your being. There is no desire to understand from the perspective of the mind. The understanding you have now is existential, whole, in harmony with the pulse of life itself. Accept this great gift and share it. So internally, your connection to everything is there in any given moment. And it's just, are we aware of that connection? Or how do we let that connection filter into our mind, which then filters into how we receive the life we're living? So this fighting energy, this being triggered, being sensitive, this state, I think consciousness opening up into that natural sense of flowing, of vastness, of wholeness, letting that be where your mind is at. I'm sensitive as well. I understand. I really do understand. I live triggered by the world like nobody's business. I get it. And so being sensitive isn't necessarily a bad thing. It just means you feel things deeply. And I don't find that to be horrible. And actually, I'd rather feel deeply than not feel at all. And so I guess for me, it's a choice. I like the depth. It adds more experience to life itself. And so consciousness is that depth. It's there. And your sensitive nature may be triggered by how shallow other people receive life. You take it deeply, and so little nuances hit you hard. That's not bad. It just means you're aware of more, you notice more, you care more. It's a good thing. And so, internally, the consciousness that wholeness is there motivating you. And then this beyond illusion card, again, this is the third reading this has come up in, and this is in your external motive or external influence. So as the vast within is there, the vast without is there speaking to you as well. And I think the meaning of the cards is that triggered state that the fighting card speaks of. It keeps you from the tranquility of the internal and external influences. So really this mental state, the clouds, the cloudy mind, I think I think learning to maybe meditate upon pain that you felt and why you'd rather feel that than something else. Ultimately, I think like my deep feelings, they hurt, sure, but they hurt in a beautiful way that I don't mind hurting that way. So if you can frame your sensitivities around that mindset, that yeah, they hurt to be triggered that way, but at least it shows you care. I think it can create a gentler mental landscape to exist inside of. And so your card awareness, this is what's needed to overcome. And I like this. It's like a shadow self that's being ripped open and you can see the spirit within. I like that kind of sense of self. Like maybe right now you're splitting yourself open to see the goodies inside. The veil of illusion, or Maya, that has been keeping you from perceiving reality as it is starting to burn away. The fire is not that of heated or the fire is not the heated fire of passion, but the cool flame of awareness. As it burns the veil, the face of a very delicate and childlike Buddha becomes visible. The awareness that is growing in you now is not the result of any conscious doing, nor did you nor do you need to struggle to make something happen. Any sense you might have had you've been groping in the dark is dissolving now or will be dissolving soon. So perhaps that static state you feel you're in will soon be dissolving. Let yourself settle and remember that deep inside you are just a witness, eternally silent, aware, and unchanged. A channel is now opening from the circumference of activity to that center of witnessing. It will help you to become detached, and a new awareness will lift the veil from your eyes. So, this card, the awareness, that sensitive state, let yourself listen within and hear yourself clearly for all the ways that you're sensitive. Better understand yourself so you can better understand how to participate with others so as not to feel so triggered all the time. Who you are is special. You are perfect and you deserve to feel wonderful as you are in all the deep ways that you feel as sensitive as you are. And if you can learn your sensitivities, then it's easier to articulate those sensitivities to others so they don't bump up against them. And being able to articulate for yourself is a huge gift of self love because ultimately, others can only love you as well as you love yourself. And if you love yourself enough to know yourself, then others can love you enough to love you the way you need. It's kind of like it starts within kind of thing. By learning yourself and your sensitivities, others can learn them yourself or learn you at that same level. And so you have this growing awareness that brings a better sense of self, and that begins the adventure, which is just wandering off into the light with childlike innocence. I love that. So let's read this card for you. When we are truly in a spirit of adventure, we are moving just like this child, full of trust, out of the darkness of the forest into the rainbow of the light. We go step by step, drawn by our sense of wonder into the unknown. Adventure really has nothing to do with plans and maps and programs and organization. The page of rainbow. Oh, okay. So I'll continue reading when she gets back. But she really likes the reading, so yay. I love when I can give a reading that's meaningful. I'll take a drink too. Yeah, this has been a really good reading. I like how the cards parallel each other with consciousness and beyond illusion. You know, the great beyond within and the great beyond without. And then parting the veil of illusion. Welcome back. Just talking through. I really like your reading and how balanced it is, and it just really each card plays into the other ones, and I love the synchronicity and alignment of that. So adventure. We left off. The page of rainbows represents a quality that can come to us anywhere, at home or in the office, in the wilderness or in the city, in a creative project or in our relationships with others. Whenever we move into the new and unknown with the trusting spirit of a child, innocent and open and vulnerable, sensitive, those words, innocent and open and vulnerable. I think those are words for being sensitive. Even the smallest things of life can become the greatest adventures. It's awesome. Your cards are awesome. You got adventurers. You're about to start a new adventure tomorrow. So how cool is that? Um, so I guess just remember your sensitive nature is a gift and let it feel that way. So when you go out in the world, you're sharing yourself freely and not from a place of being upset by how others see you or receive you. Oh, you subscribed. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. Wow. Thank you, Leah. I really appreciate that. You just made my night. Wow. My week, my whole 3 week break. Thank you. I love you. But yeah, so I I appreciate the subscription and I appreciate it, but I'm glad we got you a reading that you enjoyed. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I love kind words and I that it means so much. Thank you. I'm stumbling over my words because I'm so positively moved. So thank you. So yeah, let's take your adventure and wander with your sensitive nature and know that you're just heading into the light. Let you shine brightly and love the adventure as you take your steps moment by moment.